dosage, 1 5ml spoonful in hot water every 6 hours by day, and 2 tablespoons at night time. And I've just drunk some. Hello everybody, I hope you're all well and not too cold and not coughing like I have. I've just had some of this. Don't have any of this, you're supposed to have water with it. Anyway, if I go a bit leery halfway through, it's because I've had too much of that. I just had a swig of it because I was coughing before. A bit of an episode about something called rock and roll and my kind of love of it. But not because I decided to like rock and roll, it's because I said a few episodes ago when I was talking about Miracle that around about the same time as I wrote Miracle, I also wrote this song called Hello Maggie. And the reason is because when I was little, I used to listen to rock and roll, but not purposefully, whilst I was playing. And of course it became a very natural thing. So later on, after I got past the initial 13-year-old stage of wanting to be Jimi Hendrix, I found that I could write these songs. One day along came this song called Hello Maggie, and the reason it came about is this. The Fabulous Wonderfuls and I were playing some shows in London, and because it was going so well, because we'd written some new songs while we were there, because we were doing places like the Greyhound and I think Kensington as well, somewhere else. Somebody had told us, a friend of the band had said that they know in Lewisham, I think it was, my memory's a bit dim these days, but basically I think it was Lewisham, there was a centre, a kind of community centre, where there was an 8-track studio set up. And what you could do is, if you were a band and you were kind of in the air and you weren't very successful, they would allow you to come in through the night and record whilst it was closed to the public. And then in the morning you would go and you could be able to take away your recording, which would probably be like a 1/4-inch tape or whatever. So what I'd found out was that the person I needed to speak to was somebody called Maggie. So I get the phone and I'm thinking to myself, right, what am I going to say to her? Because she doesn't know who I am. Somebody else has told her about us or suggested that we give her a call and say that, well, this is what we're doing. Do you think we could record at Lewisham? So I'm still waiting at the phone. This is what I'm going to say. Hello Maggie, you don't know me, but I got your name from a friend of mine, and she said that possibly we could come and record at the centre. The phone's ringing, nobody answers. So I put the phone down, I think I'll try again in a few minutes, pick my guitar up, and out of nowhere came Hello Maggie, you don't know me, and I got your name from a very good friend of mine. She came to see me play, she says it sounds okay, and it's your name on the record. Well, so we got the first verse and I thought, look at that, that's amazing, because sometimes when you're writing and you're not aiming to write something, you know, you're not going at 9 o'clock, I've got to write a song. It just comes through you because the thing that inspires you to do it. The great thing about rock and roll is it's not very technical on the actual guitar. Basically what you have to try and do is to keep time so that you can possibly play the song on your own like I just have now. But it works perfectly in the format for rhythm players like me because it's based on. And you can kind of hear the kit going, which is what I'm actually playing, the kit shuffling along. And you listen to people like Rockpile and all the, you know, the rockabilly bands, it's very much in that style. So I'll put the guitar down for a minute because it's a bit noisy. I'll just turn that off, there we go. So, what brought me on to talk about it today is the fact that the great thing about rock and roll is that the guitar moves when I'm talking, and that's how you break your guitar, but we didn't this time. Thank you for staying where you were. So rock and roll is kind of, for me, comes from earlier early on in the blues. And one of the things about the blues is that I think, from my kind of memory, I think that basically it was played by black Americans coming from Africa, and of course the blues is about heartbreak, hardship, difficulty, redemption, hopefully being helped, things getting better. But one of the things about it is that it's very simple, and you don't play much on the guitar because you don't have to. If we can get it right, we might see ourselves in the lights. Better use your name on the record. Ooh, la, 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 ooh, la, la. Because the playing was so simple, and a lot of it is done by those blues artists playing solo, playing slice on bottleneck and all those kind of things, but really maintaining this rhythm over which they could sing these amazing melodies about hardship, or about being broken-hearted, or about that somebody doesn't love you, or the fact that you are homeless. And lots of those songs, if you listen to them, have that message, but they're hopeful. And of course, when they're played faster, it allowed people to dance. And the great thing about the guitar, like the banjo, and one or two other instruments, but certainly the guitar, and there are other musicians who will say, well, you can do that on this, and you can do that. I said, the banjo and the guitar allowed you to walk in rhythm and dance. So the things that you were playing got people. So if you see some of that early footage, right, from America, you see people like giving dancing and playing the guitar really rhythmically, because what they're playing is simple, and they're trying to put the message in with what they're singing. And of course, out of that comes rock and roll. She came to see him play. She says it sounds okay. Can it your name on the record? Well, she told me. And rock and roll is about young people trying to get steps that they can dance to, that the mum and dad aren't dancing to. So me found that came naturally to me, and I've written many rock and roll songs, some of which other people do sometimes, but they're also lots of fun, because what it allows people to do in the audience, yes, I might be singing Miracle or Manchester Boys or Death in the Nile or all these things where I'm testifying, or Bring Me Fire, but at 10:30 people want to dance. They don't want me to be telling them about standing there like John Knox saying, you need to do this, you need to do that, which isn't what I'm doing. All I've ever tried to do is to get people to say, mind how you go there, as people did for me when I was young. And I think that's a duty. So when it comes to time when people have heard what I have to say and given me the honour of listening to the things that I've written, I think they should dance. And that's my kind of, you've probably heard me say this before. Stop fighting, love each other, or do you want to dance? And those are my three songs. If you look at all the songs that I'm going to do in this, you'll say, that's George saying stop fighting, that's George saying love each other, that's George saying you want to dance. And like my dad said, and I've said it in an episode before, if you stop fighting and love each other, you can dance all the time. And that's what rock and roll does. It allowed people to dance with their own steps. And back then, it was important. A war had just finished. People were, getting away from the shock of what they'd experienced. Good heavens, 60 odd million people died. Of course, those who survived want to dance to actually, think, God, how lucky were we? Look how lucky I was. My mum and dad, First World War, Russian Revolution, Second World War, surviving all that, and I'm still here because they were able to survive. So I am so lucky. Hello Maggie is about dancing, and never got in touch with the girl. She never answered the phone. We never got to record there. But I went in when we'd recorded it to a friend of mine called Charlie Crane. He used to work at ATV Music. Lovely guy. Certainly know his tunes. I had gone in there with Hello Maggie and Miracle. And I was really thinking that Miracle was the important song. So I got, what do you think of this, Charlie? He said, yeah, it's really good, that Charlie. Really good song. What else you got? So I play Hello. It's really like that. And the reason he liked it was because he had an artist who could probably use that song and maybe sing it. So what I'm trying to say to those of you who write and make music, just because somebody says that's not for me, doesn't mean to say that they don't like the tune. It's just saying that that's not what I'm looking for at the moment. So you have to persevere and keep going back to the same person, because he already given you his ear to listen to what you have to say. He'll listen again, because you might be coming along with the promised land, with the song that he's looking for. About 5 years after writing Hello Maggie and Miracle, I saw Charlie again in Wendon Zambo, Wendon Zambo, in a pub, and he said, oh, lovely to see you, George. It was lovely to see Charlie. He said, did you ever do anything with that song Miracle? And I went, what do you mean? He said, well, how come you never did anything with it? I said, well, because when I brought you Miracle and Hello Maggie, you chose Hello Maggie. He said, yeah, because I was looking for a song like that. But Miracle's an amazing song. I've always remembered it all those years. So what I'm saying is, persevere with your song. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a roundabout, but it's like a Ferris wheel. And this is the Ferris wheel where the music's going round. And here's you with your little Ferris wheel, right? And occasionally you get to a point where you can step on. And then possibly you disappear. So you don't know who's going to say it's a great song. And it's no good taking a song to somebody who doesn't like that. It's a bit like festivals. I was saying to my friend about festivals. If you're playing heavy metal, you're not going to get a gig at a folk festival. But that doesn't mean to say that you don't like your music. All they're saying is, this isn't what we do. So believe in yourselves, believe in your tunes, listen to people that you respect, ask them what they think. Ask the lady at number 39. She'll tell you, I like that one, it's got a good beat. It's not always the other musicians, not because they don't like what you do, but they're not listening quite as objectively. And so in the end, the people decide. I know artists who've had phenomenal amounts of money, gross national product amount of money put into an album, which doesn't do anything because there's no songs in there. So the money doesn't get you there. You, coming from here, gets to the people. So thanks for listening to today. Hopefully I'll see you next time, and that's if I'm not passed out with this thing. Hello Maggie, now you know me, and you become a real good friend of mine. If we can get it right, we might see ourselves in life. Getting your name on the record. If we